Hey there guys, it's Tina and I'm back. And I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. If you're also back, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. I'm happy to see you. Say hi to the family for me. But if you're new and maybe you like what you see, please consider subscribing because we have tons of fun here on this channel talking all about makeup and beauty. But sometimes we mix in lifestyle, maybe a little bit of fashion. So there's just tons going on this channel and we always have a good time. So again, if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Also, yes, the hair is back. I am out of braids. I did braids for my vacation in Jamaica because I didn't want to be bothered with styling my hair and packing for styling my hair. But the hair is back and I need your feedback. So you see the roots? She's coming back in, all right? But it doesn't look bad because it's giving ombre vibes, like balayage vibes. So I'm thinking of just doing like low lights to darken up the roots, but like blend it a little bit more. So it's not like a harsh line of demarcation. What do you think? Or should I just do blonde all over again? I kind of like the dark roots look. So I'll keep the blonde pretty high up, like not a serious balayage, but I kind of want to have low lighted roots. Low lighted, is that what you would say? Because you say highlighted, so low. Anyway, I kind of want to have blended dark roots, but let me know what you think. So this video is a get ready with me video, but I'm going to chat a little bit in the start. So I am showcasing my collaboration palette with Sydney Grace Cosmetics. I already did my unveiling video, so I will link it down below so you can check it out. You will get to hear all the details about this palette. You'll see the color story, the swatches, all that good stuff. But today we're playing with this palette to get a really fun, colorful eye look. I have upcoming videos featuring this palette, but I wanted to just chat with you guys about the color story, the inspiration behind it, and what I intended with this layout, because I've seen a couple of comments and I just wanted to talk about those comments specifically. So we're playing with this new palette. This is launching September 1st, so stay tuned. It launches at 12 p.m. Eastern time or 9 a.m. Pacific, so set your alarms. This Thursday, September 1st, stay tuned if you're interested in picking up this palette. That's when it launches. And in this video, we're going to show you a look that I created from it. But again, there will be future videos featuring this palette, so you're going to have tons and tons of looks to take inspiration from. Plus, there has been so much support from the community. I am so appreciative of it, you guys. Oh my God, I wanted to say major thanks to you guys in the comments. Oh my God, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. The support has been so amazing, so I definitely want to say thank you to you guys. I appreciate it so much. You don't even understand. Like, I am close to tears a lot of the times because I didn't expect to get so much positive feedback coming out the gate, because it's a colorful palette. I know not a lot of people are into color, but different creators that have gotten the palette in PR have been like doing videos and swatches, and it's just like, oh my God, like thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. But we're gonna talk more about the palette further on in the video, but I definitely wanted to give my thanks there. We're also trying out some other new products. So I have a new foundation. You already saw this in the thumbnail. This is the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. Yes, I decided to pick this up because I was in store. And you know what happens? I'm seeing a trend, okay? I get stuck inside stores because I'm waiting for something. Like there's a storm and I'm waiting for it to pass so I can go back to my car, or I'm waiting to go to the airport to pick somebody up. It's just like a whole situation. So I end up at these stores kind of hostage, and I end up buying a ton of products. So trying out this new foundation. I also have a new blush from Benefit. This is the shade Java, and they've redone their packaging. So we're gonna try out this new shade that I picked up. We also have some new lip products from Makeup by Mario. He released a couple of new shades of his, what are they called? These are the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serums. So I have one of those on right now. And a surprising product is this new brow gel from Got To Be. You guys, I just pulled this out to try it out, just, you know, for shits and giggles. And she's a surprise hit. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So if you want to see how I got this look, get some inspiration for looks that you can create using my new palette, again, mark your calendar, September 1st. And if you want to see how this foundation applies and all that good stuff, as well as catch up with me, chat about the palette, then stay tuned and I will talk to you soon. Alright guys, so as usual, I'm starting off with a clean, freshly washed face. I already filled in my brows. They look a little bit much right now. I don't know, maybe I'll tame them in a bit, but already filled in my brows, and I also applied a bit of concealer, which is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I can never remember that name, in the shade Caramel, just under my brows to define the shape. And then I went in with my MAC Lane Low Paint Pot all over my lids to act as my eyeshadow base and primer. I applied and blended that out with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge, which is such a great little sponge for applying concealer, but also for applying base and primer to your eyelids. It just fits into all the nooks and crannies, and it applies product really quickly and blends it out seamlessly without much effort, and I love this little guy. I used it dry, by the way. I didn't use it damp. So now eyelids are ready to go, but I want to go in with some moisturizer before I do anything else. So this is from Youth to the People. It is the Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream. They sent this my way along with their cleanser that I know and love, and a couple of their masks. I already know and love the Spinach and Kale Cleanser, so much so that I have a travel size for when I go on different trips. It's an excellent cleanser. And this little moisturizer says whipped on it, and once it says whipped, I'm all about it because I have combination oily skin, mostly oily. So if a product says like a water gel or a whipped texture, count me in. I am ready. I am going to try it. This one actually feels a little thicker and a little bit more emollient than I am used to with a whipped moisturizer, but we're gonna allow it to settle in and see how that goes. Now we can move on to our eyeshadow. Let's zoom in. You guys already know we're digging into my TropiCOLOR eyeshadow palette. I wanted to go ahead and play with this. I figured this was like a great way to talk a little bit more about the palette. I already did my reveal video, so I'll link it over here so you can check it out. I already spoke about like the theming behind the palette and the names, and I did the swatches. But I want to talk a little bit more about the process of creating this palette. And I also figured it's a great time to share some of my thoughts behind this color story and how I would use the colors together, because all of these shades were intentional in the palette. Even though I've seen a couple of comments about people saying that they don't like the color story, and I completely understand. Like, you're entitled to your opinion and your preferences. Like, if you don't like this color story, I get it. We already anticipated that some people wouldn't like the color story. It's the name of the game. You're not gonna win over everybody with everything you create, but there is a rhyme and reason to this palette. And someone also said like the color story for them was muddled, and I don't get that, but I know there's certain people that can't look at a palette and figure out what shades they can use together. And I didn't design or lay out the palette specifically to group shades together, but at the same time, inherently, there's some colors that go together when they're next to each other. Like, you have these fall tone shades that will work together. You also have like this group of 4, that quad right there, those shades will go together. Even these 4 right here, these three, like, I already see like a bunch of color combinations, but not everybody has the eye for that, so they prefer a less complicated palette, I guess. But I am here to share my looks with you guys, and a lot of people have been sharing swatches and looks, and I am so appreciative of the support, because I don't get the support from like the larger influencers and the larger Instagram pages. Like Trend Mood will never share this palette. They didn't share my last collab, even though like low-key they shared the other Oden's Eye collaboration, but they didn't share the one that I was involved with. And they've shared other Sydney Grace palettes before. So I'm just like, is it me? Maybe it's me, and that's okay, all right? Either way, we've gotten so much support from the community. A lot of you guys have been sharing your excitement, and I am so appreciative. Like, you guys freaking rock. Low-key, I was, you know what? I think my period's coming, because I was a little bit, I know my period's coming. Well, it says 7 days, right? But you know how I always blame my period on my emotions, but I get so emotional these days. It's crazy. I guess as I'm getting older, I'm getting softer. Like, I'll be in the cut, like, ready to cry when I'm reading the comments. Like, I tear up and I'm like, ooh, are you crying? You better stop that. But no, like, the love that has been shown for this palette, oh God, oh my God. Listen, I love it, all right? All right, we're gonna start out with, let's go in with Sun Rays, which is this yellow here. And we're gonna do a colorful look, but it's not gonna be, well, I don't know yet. I really didn't plan this out because I'm just playing with this palette. So I'm gonna buff that in my crease. I created Sun Rays to act as a blend-in shade for a lot of these colorful looks. The yellow will go with a blue, it will go with a green, and it can kind of go with a purple, but I also have Rum Raisin. These 3 shades right here. Rum Raisin, Coconut, and Sun Rays. You can blend these shades together to create your transition shade in the crease. That was the intention. You can use the yellow with Rum Raisin to create a lighter tan. I just did that. I tapped into both shades. So all I do is tap into both shades and you get the product on your brush and you just go back and forth in your crease. Sun Rays will lighten up Rum Raisin a bit because they have a similar undertone. So you end up with a light brown in the crease. And that's my intent, is to give you colors that you can mix and match. Like, this palette can be a standalone for you. It can be used in conjunction with other palettes and singles that you have in your collection. Just have fun with it. That's the vibe I want to have with this palette. Have fun with color, have fun with eyeshadows. I'm just blending that in the crease line. I just ended up using a combination of the 2 shades to create just that blend-in area in the crease. Then I'm gonna go in again with Sun Rays, but on a shader brush. This is the Worker 2 from Sonia G. And I'm going to press that on the inner tear duct. So Sun Rays can be used as a lid shade. You see, you can get that brightness from it. Different brushes are gonna give you different results from eyeshadows, right? So a blend-in brush is gonna give you a wash of color. Shader brushes are gonna give you more intensity and more color payoff from different shades. So here we're using a shader brush on the inner tear duct with the color, and in the crease we use the blend-in brush just to get a wash of color. So you see the difference in using different brushes. You can also use a shader brush for blend-in, but it works really well to pack on color. So boom, we have the yellow on the crease, right? Now I'm going to grab the shade Palm Trees, which is the matte green. And again, these shades can be used in a bright, colorful look or in more of a subdued fall themed look. Can also use it for the winter time. Like, come on, those blues, those tropical blues, ooh, okay? Another comment that I saw was that people were expecting this to be a really bright and bold palette because it has a tropical or a Caribbean theme. And I'm like, hold up now. Do you really know what colors we see in the tropics? We don't see neon orange and neon pink. Like, that's not the vibe. In Jamaica, at least. I don't know where else they have those colorful shades. I mean, for Carnival, sure. But in Jamaica, you'll see turquoises, blues for the tropical waters and the ocean. For the trees, you'll see more muted grass greens and like more subdued greens, but you're not gonna see like a neon lime green, you know? So Palm Trees is that green that you would see. It also is a similar color to our flag. And also Sun Rays ties into the flag because our flag is green, black, and gold. But the gold is like a really rich yellow. Sun Rays is not as rich because I didn't want it to be that overwhelming bright yellow that people might be afraid of using. You see this yellow, it's not too sunshine bright and intimidating, right? You can use it on the inner tear duct without feeling like, oh my God, I look crazy, right? Because I don't want anybody to feel like they can't use this palette. All right, now I'm gonna grab the other green from the palette, which is Cane Fields. This one is a shimmer, and let me tell you about Sydney Grace's shimmers, okay? They are that thicker, richer, foiled formula. So they lay down really nicely. I'm using a Delium's Tools 767 round blender brush. This is just a rounded, did you want to come in? Hold on, I had y'all all the way out there. Let me go ahead and buff that in the outer crease and outer lid space area. Oh my God. So this green, you see, it's a little bit bolder. It's a little bit richer, but it's not sparkly or too metallic. So that's another thing. When you have colors that are less sparkly, they tend to be a little bit more wearable because they're not like sparkling all over your eyelids and like signaling for everybody to come see, right? They're still bold and intense and really beautiful. You're not gonna get a ton of fallout, but with these shades, I still recommend like doing your foundation after, because you never know. When you're packing on shades like this, you can get some fallout. And there's some fallout with like Dr. Bird especially, and Waterfalls, which are the two most flaky shades. Dr. Bird is definitely more of a flaky shade, and Waterfalls has a ton of shimmer to it, so it can have some fallout, all right? But I just recommend overall to always do your eyeshadow first, especially when you're working with colors, especially when you're working with like blues and greens, because if the fallout happens and you wipe, you might get some green under your eyes, and we don't want that, right? So the green I blended out. Now I am going to go in with a bit of Rainforest, which so pretty. So you see how these three shades go together, and then these four go together. So it's just, I don't know why people would be like, oh, I don't understand how to use that palette. And I just chalk it up to people not being comfortable with color, and that's completely fine. I'm using my finger for this one just because I love how the shade applies with the finger, and I'm applying it to the center of the lid. Oh, so pretty. Wiping off my finger. Okay, let me go back in now. I'm gonna wipe off the Delium Tools brush to just blend the edges into the Sunray shade. Beautiful, she's so pretty. And again, with the Sydney Grace formula, these blend really easily, really effortlessly. It's just, Sydney Grace has just been one of those brands that I've loved, and I'm like, ooh, I want to work with them. And you know what's sad? I went to California back in April, like the end of April towards May, and I was supposed to meet up with Heather and Laura, which are the two owners of Sydney Grace. And if you want, wait, I need to adjust the lighting. Ooh, is that better? Yeah. So I ended up, if you watch that vlog video, or that video, I think it was a Get Ready With Me where I spoke about that trip, I ended up catching COVID, child, and I was not able to meet up with them, and I was so sad. I want to add a little bit of depth to the outer V. I love depth, and there are a couple of shades in here that you can use for depth. We have Maroon, which is a deep maroon burgundy shade. It's not really a red brown, it's a burgundy. Then we have Cocoa Beans, which is a really rich blackened espresso brown. And we have Negril, which is a navy blue. So you can use either of those shades to add depth. I'm going to use Negril, which is the navy blue, and just touch a little bit, like not too much, just a little bit in that outer corner, to add a little bit of depth. And because we have greens and teals, this will just play off of those, add just a bit of depth without changing the actual color of the overall look. So you see, oh, let me zoom in again. Why'd I zoom back out? Listen. So you see a little bit of depth, and then it keeps the color theme the same, but it just adds, you see, a little bit of dimension? Yeah, this was my intent behind adding these deeper colorful shades. And you can use these dark shades in any look that you want to create. So if you have another palette and you just were missing like a rich shade, go ahead and grab for this palette, because now you have that really rich dark brown, which is not a black, so it helps to balance out a look without getting it too dark. I have a little bit of my paint pot on my inner, okay, there we go. I'm just sharpening up the outer edge with a makeup wipe. But this is the kind of look that you can create. Again, it's colorful, but it's not like outlandishly colorful, right? At least not to me. maybe I'm just a colorful, I mean, I am, let's be honest, I am a colorful person, so maybe it's not colorful to me. All right, I'm gonna play with some other new products as I mentioned in the intro. The foundation that we're using today is from Hourglass. So Hourglass released a new ambient soft glow foundation. The shade that I have is number 13. Glass bottle packaging, you know, with the usual dark brown, bronzy kind of metal cap, and it has a pump. Shade 13 is meant for medium deep skin with warm undertones. Now I swatched this in store. I swatched shade 13.5, which is supposed to be medium deep with neutral undertones, but it just came off too red for me. And usually neutral is where I gravitate, but I went ahead and grabbed 13 because even 12, which is medium deep with neutral undertones, still didn't look right on my skin. So this foundation, let's see what it says. Inspired by the iconic ambient lighting collection, this foundation is infused with blurring spheres to minimize the look of imperfections for skin that looks smooth, even, and glowing. I don't want to glow. The transfer-resistant formula is also resistant to humidity and sweat for flawless looking coverage that stays in place. Okay. It says it has medium coverage and a natural finish. So it's not matte, but it also doesn't say glowy. So we're just gonna roll with it. Autobots, roll out. So let's go. It's golden for sure, right? But like I said, the other two shades that had a neutral undertone just didn't sit quite right with my undertones. And I swatched it on bare skin because I went out without foundation, as I normally do, to be honest. And it looked fine. I think I'm a little bit more, on the cool tone side. But if I use a cool tone foundation, it just looks too dark, too red. So I kind of have to balance it out. Foundations are so tricky. Like getting your undertone, I've gotten some red. Let me stop. It's really the shade ranges that do me in, because it's not like I can't match my foundation. But feeling out what golden means to some brands versus cool and neutral, like it means different things in different brands, to be honest. Some brands, if they say neutral, it's gray. Other brands, if they say neutral, it's olive. Some brands have olive, so it's like, it's just a guessing game. And the best you can do is test it out in store if you can, which I was able to do. And like I said, this shade just worked the best. And it doesn't have to be exact. If it comes pretty close, then I can always balance the rest out with powder, bronzer, and the works. Like the rest of my face makeup will make it work. So this blends really nicely. It's like a thicker liquid. It doesn't feel sticky, which is good. It doesn't feel runny, so it's not like a really thin, lightweight foundation. It definitely is a thicker liquid foundation. I think it's a medium coverage. I would need coverage under the eyes for sure. But that's a vibe. Let's see. The finish is more natural. It's not matte, but it's also not dewy or glowy. What do you guys think? I'm all up in your face. What do you think? Looks nice, right? Definitely is more warm tone though, like golden warm tone. All right, let's go in with a concealer. I've just been loving the Sephora concealer, okay? This is the, what is it called now? Best Skin Ever! And I love the foundation to this. One of my favorite foundations. And now, matching concealer, like that's a win for me. I didn't dampen a sponge for my concealer. Let's just use a brush. We'll use the Rare Beauty. Is this their foundation brush? I think it is. And tap that out. I do like a sponge for my concealer, but I can rock with a brush as well. It's not like, oh, I need a sponge. Tell me that concealer isn't fire. Y'all stop playing with me, okay? And I pull concealer all the way out because one, I use a concealer that's matching my skin tone pretty well. It's never like a light lifting brightening concealer. And right here on my cheek area doesn't really hold on to foundation. So I tend to use my concealer there for the added coverage. I love this concealer. It is my new favorite concealer. I kind of want to add a little bit more yellow on that inner tear duct. I really love how the yellow looks, and I kind of want to put a little bit more and bring it a little, like I want it to be more pronounced. So I'm going to blend it more into the teal. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like I want it to show up instead of just being like a pop on the inner tear duct, which is kind of what we ended up with. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, because that, I love that color, like I said, rainforest, but I want that yellow to really pop. Yes. All right. Powder on the under eyes. I do not have a new powder to try out, so I'm just going to go into my One Size powder. I do not like the packaging for this. I thought I did because it has like a little lid, so you open the lid and then you shake the powder out, but then the excess powder that you're left with, you kind of have to just keep it in the lid, because you shake it out, you're still going to have powder left when you're done, and you're not going to just throw that out. So it's like you shake it from the cap back in the, it's loose powder is just not easy to control in a container. I don't know the best way to have loose powder, if I'm honest. Let's go in with my all over powder, which is my Kosas, because she's my baby. I'm not using a new powder. I don't have a new powder. I don't have a reason for a new powder. I do have the new Chanel foundation powder, but that's not what we're going for. We're not using a foundation powder. We're just using a setting powder for this foundation to see how it goes. The Kosas powder doesn't really give like a lot of payoff. I can't get over how pretty this eyeshadow looks. Stop it! Oh, you know what? I have this new brow gel. It's from got2b, right? Which is a hair gel, and it's their brow and edge gel. Yeah, got2b glued for brows and edges gel. So it's a gel that you can use exactly for your brows and for your edges, right? And I have been intrigued by this, but it isn't available in the US. I had to order it on Amazon, and it came from the UK. So this is the brush. It's a natural bristle brush with like a flat edge, and then under the bottom is curved. So interesting. So let's just apply that. Oh my God. Apply that to the brows. It definitely feels like more of a hair gel than a clear mascara type product. Ooh, she thick. Ooh, we're gonna see how that goes. Let me go ahead and apply mascara and all that off camera, and I'll be right back to finish up the rest of the look. Okay, I am back, and I did my mascara and popped on some lashes, but we haven't done anything else to the rest of the face just yet. And we need some bronzer, okay? I think we're just gonna go in with my new favorite, which is from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm applying that with my BK Beauty 101 brush, another favorite of mine. This brush is so great at applying bronzer because of the shape. It just works really well. So, loving her. And I have a new blush, which I will use in a bit, but just bronzing up just a little bit, just a little, to give myself a little bit of dimension. And this bronzer shade just works really, really well. let's grab the new blush that I have, which is, where is it? Here it is. It's from Benefit, and it is one of their newly designed blushes. And I think this is a new shade. I never saw this shade before. It is the shade Java. Java. So they redesigned their boxes to be smaller, more compact. They should have done this a long time ago, okay? And they did away with the brush that's included. I don't know if they lowered the price though, because this is still a pricey blush. So you can see it's a richer, darker blush. It's like a burnt pepper. It's like a rosy red brown. So we're gonna try this out. You may be thinking it looks a little bit too rich, but I swatched it in store, and the thing with these blushes from Benefit is that they may look pigmented. I mean, this is kind of pigmented, right? I take that back. But they blend out easily. So even though it's a rich blush and it's a deeper color, it still blends out really easily into a lighter, well, not necessarily like a lighter color, but it's not as intense as how it appears in the pan. So this is a richer, like, yeah, like a reddened brown, like a sunburnt brown. It's very natural and neutral. It can look like I got slapped in the face though. So I better blend that out. I thought, yeah, there we go. There we go. So it's a very natural blush. And I really like brownie blushes like this because they just give natural color to my cheek without being too overwhelming, but it still adds a little bit of oomph. So I really like that. All right, I wanted to do a little something on the lower lash line, but I'm not gonna do too much. I feel like I should go back in with Cane Fields, which is that deeper green, just to tie everything together. And I'm just gonna pop that on the lower lash line, the outer lower lash line. I'm not gonna pull it all the way in. That is such a good green. Let me zoom it in. I forgot to zoom y'all in, but it is such a good green on that lower lash line. This is another way you can incorporate color, and I'm gonna show you more natural looks. I do have one already filmed, ready to go. I am so behind, guys. I mentioned in the release video that there was a leak, okay? And then I've just been busy as well, so I haven't gotten a lot of content with this palette filmed, which is kind of why I'm doing this video as well. Get ready with me's are so easy to do, and I can use a bunch of different products. I'm looking for an eyeliner, don't mind me, but I can use like a bunch of different products, test out new products, talk to you guys. So they're so fun for me to do. So I figured, hey, let me do that now. Look how pretty this looks, all right? Let's go in with a green eyeliner just to tie everything in with the green. This is from Victoria Beckham Beauty. It's the olive shade, which is just a blackened green. These pencils are so creamy, so nice. They work so well on the waterline, but they're not as long lasting as my Makeup by Mario ones. They're creamier, they're smoother, but I feel like the Makeup by Mario ones just last a lot longer, and they're creamy too. It's not like they're not creamy, they're not dry at all, but look how pretty this is. Oh my god, so here are the eyes. Tell me that Rainforest isn't giving it, right? And then this pop of yellow. I love that. The pastels in the palette. So Sunrays, which is the yellow, Wilmer's, which is the sky blue, and 𝕊𝕦𝕡𝕒, which is like the light periwinkle. Those, oh, that's what I have these shades in there for, to act as great inner tear duct colors. You can also apply them all over the lid for pastel looks. Like, come on, that's so pretty. All right, we gotta do a lip, okay. Have a new lip product as well. So I have a couple of the Makeup by Mario, what are they called? These are the Moisture Glow Plumpin' Lip Serums. He has been releasing new shades every Monday on his website. They are not at Sephora as yet, but you can order them on his website, and I picked up 3 of the new shades. So he has Cinnamon Glow, Honey Glow, and this one is Blush Glow. And the shades of the tube match the color inside. So I feel like we should do something lighter. So I'm gonna go in with a Blush Glow. This is like a pinky shade. Here's the thing about these tones. They don't really... Oh, here's the black one that I was looking for. The shades don't have like a major difference between each other. This is just a brown lip liner. This is from Huda Beauty. Love this lip contour shade. It's just a great dark brown. And I'll use this shade to outline my lips completely, give some dimension, and I will rub my lips together to help diffuse the line, and it's gonna give more of an ombre effect when I apply the lip color. So these shades, like I said, aren't really intense. The colors don't really show up as that significantly different from each other. I'll probably, you know what, I'm gonna do a haul video with these, so I'll show you the swatches. But if you get one of these shades, there's not a big difference between the other shades. This is what I'm saying. There might be a slight undertone difference, but once you apply it to your lips, you can barely tell. And these are tingly, so they are a plumping serum. So yeah, they do get kind of tingly, okay? You can't twist them back down, so don't twist up too much product. And what I like to do is wipe the tube off because they can get very messy. But the glue, okay, these deserve the hype that they've been getting because look at this. With this brown lip liner, stop. So lips, cheeks, all done. I'm not doing a highlighter. I don't like bold highlighter. But here you have it. This is the final look. And I am loving it. I am so in love with this eyeshadow right now. Y'all don't understand. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. But, okay, I love this so much. So, in case you're interested, again, this palette will launch September 1st at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So set your clocks, okay? We're gonna have a good time with this palette. I'm going to use it a lot. So don't get tired of me, okay? But it's my baby. She's gonna be used a lot on this channel. You're gonna see tons of content with her, but you're also gonna see other content. So fret not, okay? I'm gonna keep you entertained, but oh my God. I have been waiting to unveil this palette just so I could use it in my videos, okay? I wanted to just have a free-for-all and use it whenever, however, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just want her on my face at all times. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this get ready with me, enjoyed talking about the palette, and hopefully I gave you an idea of how to use this palette, how to use color in general, because this to me is a colorful look, but it's still understated because you use a matte, more toned down shade on the inner tear duct, and that tones down the overall look. So you don't have like all blue or all green. And I think this just looks really pretty. Let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about the other new products. So the foundation, I did not expect to like this. I low-key have Hourglass on like timeout because they need to improve their shade ranges, especially with their ambient lighting powders, because they can do better, okay? And they don't really have interesting products, let's be real. They have complexion products, so why aren't there deeper, richer shades, right? But I saw this in store. The shade range was pretty decent, like it looked decent. They can do deeper, richer shades, but I wanted to try it out. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna try it, and color me impressed, okay? I like how this looks on my skin, like with the powder and with everything else. My skin looks pretty. It does look blurred, like it does look blurred and pretty. I don't know how it will wear. There's a little bit of creasing in my little smile lines, but I've just gotten used to that, okay? That's just my life. But this is low-key pretty, and it wasn't glowy at all. Even before I set it down, it wasn't like overly glowy. So I am definitely loving this foundation. I didn't even expect to like it. And it's pricey, so I was hoping to hate it so I'd have a reason to return it, but I like it. I do, I like it. Even the shade match is working out. What? Okay, come through, Hourglass. That price though, ooh, child. The Benefit blush, this is another new one for me. I like this color. I like how natural it looks. It's a little rich. She's a little rich, which I'm impressed with Benefit with that, because again, that's another brand that doesn't really do rich shades. So when they do something deeper, I don't really have high expectations, but this actually is a rich shade, pigmented, but she blends out. So I was able to get a very natural look from this blush. And this would be like a go-to everyday blush for me because again, it's not too colorful, not too bold, it's very natural and it looks really good on the skin. We did also try a new moisturizer from Youth to the People. Great moisturizer, definitely loving this. And it's not as greasy as I expected it to be because it didn't feel like really lightweight, like a gel moisturizer. So I was a little bit nervous that it was gonna feel too greasy, but it really sunk into the skin. And the foundation, even though this is supposed to be more glowy, actually is not glowy or shiny at all. So moisturizer, yeah, definitely like that one as well. The Moisture Glow from Makeup by Mario. Yes, okay. Love these. The tingle is, you know when you brush your teeth or use mouthwash or you chew one of those like Dentine Ice kind of gums and you have that minty cool feeling? That's what it feels like on your lips. So it's not uncomfortable at all. It doesn't feel like pepper burning your lips. It doesn't feel like cinnamon either, which is, I don't like those burning feelings. No, I take that back. The Patrick Ta one is cinnamon and that one actually burns more than this. This is not significantly tingly and it looks so good. It's so glossy. So any plumping that you see is not just like the plumping effect. A gloss will always make your lips look a little bit juicier, but that lip with that liner, stop. The liner, hands down, amazing. What else did we try that was new? Oh, the brow gel. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this brow gel. My brows are stiff as hell, okay? This is for real, like, it feels like a brow gel, but really like a hairspray, like a really strong hold hairspray. If you have unruly brows, this will work for you, okay? I mean, it is stuck down, okay? But they don't look stuck down and it's not shiny. It doesn't look like glowy. Oh my God, it does feel like gel. It's not flaky either. Yo, let me find out. Got to be got it. Like, what? What is going on? That was fantastic. So there you have it, guys. That's everything that I use. All the other products are not new to me. I've already used them on camera. I know and love them. But I'm going to leave a full list of all the products used and mentioned down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. If those links have asterisks next to them, that indicates that they are affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through that link. It's a great way to show your support for the channel because it gives me a kickback that I can then put back into the content. So I appreciate you guys using my links. I also now have super thanks. It's something new that has been slowly rolling out on YouTube to different creators and I finally got access to it, but it's another way to give back to the channel. It's like giving me a tip if you like the content and you wanted to just give me something to maybe buy myself a coffee, which I also have down below, but this is just a more seamless way to incorporate that kind of give back to the channel since I don't have like Patreon or channel memberships. So if you feel so inclined, go ahead and send me a super thanks. I will also go ahead and leave links to my Instagram and Twitter. Let me twist that earring, where you should be following me along. I have looks over there, fun times. You know, we just have a good time. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.